This video is brought to you by Patterson Car Care. Get double the premium detail product for half the price. Head over to pattersoncarcare.com or go to the link in the description below. Hey, so what do you think about the new Mustang? I don't know, man. It's got kind of like a big mouth, like a Camaro, and the interior is too much like a Tesla, because, you know, screens mean it has to look just like a Tesla. I think it's gonna be just one of those things where we have to see it in person, but overall, I think the Dark Horse is pretty cool. Nah, it still looks like an ugly, big, fat Camaro. Let's talk about the S650. Being an owner of two Mustangs myself, my 2013 Mustang GT Smurf and my 2018 Mustang GT Sub-Zero, both being supercharged and lovely project cars, I was curious to see how the 2018 Plus generation was going to be improved, because it's actually one of my favorite cars that I own. What is the next level of the 2018? Like, I just didn't even know. Not to mention my 2018 made 750 horsepower on 93 octane on a stock engine. Like, that's just crazy. So let's go ahead and break down the Unveil itself, what I thought about it, the presentation, and of course, the cars and the different variations. Guys, before we get started, what is your favorite Mustang generations when it comes to exterior looks? Even if you're not into Mustangs, which Mustang would you actually give a chance of owning or do a build on? Let me know in the comment section below. This was the Mustang Stampede, which is a really cool idea of Mustang owners all over the country driving to Detroit for the Unveil in all sorts of different Mustang generations, starting all the way out in the West Coast, making it out to the Unveil. This was actually a super unique idea for a car reveal, and it's kind of refreshing. Don't get me wrong, of course it's gonna feel corporate, but when I say feel corporate, this feels a little bit more like a community joining to celebrate something new, especially with a car with such a long-lasting legacy and tight-knit community. They also interviewed people from all around the world who own Mustangs and what it means to them to own a Mustang. The Mustang community, in my opinion, is so vast and so wild and so different in opinions and style and aftermarket choices. Like, it is such a massive culture. Like, out of all the cars that I own, even like the S chassis culture and the Honda culture, like the Mustang culture is unlike anything, I can tell you that. You can make crowd jokes all day long, but like going to Mustang Week and stuff, it is such a good time. I've always had great memories at those kind of events. I mean, literally everybody knows somebody who has owned a Mustang. One of my favorite things was they brought out Flat Rock employee Maria Cunningham, who I think having her as a speaker was so amazing. The people who build the cars with their hard work and labor get true recognition, and Maria Cunningham is a 5th generation Ford employee. So if there's anybody deserving to speak about Mustangs, it's her. They then proceeded to have their intro video of the car. They give you a great look at the car right off the bat, so they don't pull any punches. And I absolutely love when they say, feel the freedom. So let's get into the car itself and what my first impression is. The Mustang S650, what makes it special and what makes it different. It has a little bit more power at an estimated power of 480 plus to the crank known as the Gen 4 Coyote. Some people really wanted that 7.3 Godzilla motor to be in one of the models, but maybe later down the road we'll see something different. It could have been a 6-cylinder turbo in today's day and age, so I'm glad that we have a V8 still. So both the EcoBoost and the V8 are back with manual transmissions and the beast of a 10-speed auto if you're interested, but the manual is still around, which is so great. Having a manual V8 sports car in today's day and age is a rarity that we need to really cherish. Like, for real, I'm really excited about that. Going up against, say, like the Japanese competitors right now, say the Toyota Supra and the Nissan Z, I'm curious how much power per dollar the Mustang is going to offer, because it's always been known as like basically the cheapest power per dollar there is, at least in my experience. I can tell you that building Japanese imports and dumping so much more money into them just for my Mustangs to be faster with so much less money can be very frustrating. The interior for a lot of people is quote unquote too modern, but I adapted very quick to the S550 digital dash, but the interior did have more analog buttons, so I won't know until I drive one. Ford, if you're listening, please invite me to the press event to drive this car. I did your Ford Performance Academy and the Octane Academy and the Shelby Academy and the Shelby Track Attack, so please, I know the Mustang very well. So hear me out here. Thanks, guys. What's really cool too is I was actually in an Xbox Live party chat while watching the unveil with a bunch of my other car friends, because I love hearing other people's opinion in real time and see how their mood changes or what they see they do and don't like. My friends then said, are we in Forza right now? Because the interactive modes are so in depth and the 3D model is so intricate, because you can mix and match different modes, suspension tuning, exhaust tuning. Like, that is super cool. If you wanted comfort steering but like a louder exhaust, you could do that. That's what's super unique about all the settings and the track apps. One people seem to make fun of, but I thought was a fun touch, is that you can set your gauges to an old Fox body gauge cluster. I mean, I think it's neat, and you don't have to turn it on, right? I think it's just a nice touch, and if you want to have a little bit of a nostalgia and just to goof off in, I don't think it's really hurting anybody. A lot of people were making fun of this feature, but who cares? I think it's kind of neat. The line lock feature is also back, and let me tell you, it is the most user-friendly burnout tutorial I've ever used in a car.
Oh, go, yeah.
Even with other cars that have line lock, the Mustang's, in my opinion, is the best, because it has this animation that literally shows your wheel speed and turning and how much heat you're getting in your tires, basically, and it'll tell you, okay, you're good. You don't need to do a burnout anymore for good grip. Now, there's this weird, like, parking lot flex mode where you can rev your engine from your key fob, and I am so 50-50 about it, because as a feature, it's super cool. As an idea, in theory, it's a really cool idea. What I'm worried about is people taking advantage of it too much or not really understanding, like, revving a cold engine, if that makes sense. I hope there's some sort of fail-safe that doesn't let you do it if your engine is too cold to do it. That way you don't accidentally damage your car. If you're not a true car person who doesn't understand that engines need to warm up to rev, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not making fun of people who don't know. I'm just saying for the average customer, somebody could, you know, maybe break something, but I don't know, just saying. So yeah, I'm 50-50 about it, but I'm sure it'll be fine, whatever. Now, the animated lighting before you get in is a super nice touch, and it makes it like you're about to go on a great experience, almost like a ride at an amusement park. And they compared the interior to like a jet fighter. Now, if you notice, the steering wheel itself is very similar to the Mach-E's. It's a flat bottom. And the Mach-E's interior, regardless if you like the Mach-E or not, I'm just gonna say it, the Mach-E is a really nice car. Like, overall, it's a great car. I always say, if you drop the Mustang name, it would be better, but the Mach-E is a good car. It really comes into its own in the S650 with the physical dash itself, and the steering wheel looks great. It looks comfortable. The seats look rad. The interior, I'm happy with the interior. A lot of people think like it's too much for them or too futuristic. I would get used to it. I'd be fine. Now, the 7th gen Mustang. Let's talk about the exterior looks. Probably the most divisive discussion online that I've seen so far. The front end will have to grow on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I don't think it's as bad as that Camaro from a while back where I was like, good Lord, get that away from me. I don't want to be around that thing. Like, I couldn't believe that left the design studio bad in my eyes. But the S650, I'm sure that big grille is for extra cooling, because like the Nissan Z, where we all made fun of the grille, you know, because it was this massive Samsung looking TV. It was because it needed the extra cooling for the turbos and everything. And I like the corner pockets on the bumper, but I really like the headlights. I actually am a big fan of these headlights. I like how mean and aggressive they are. It always weirded me out when people said a car looked too aggressive. Like, my taste is, yeah, I want a mean looking car. Like, make it as mean as possible. Like, that's why my S550 has all like the mean looking bits on the front bumper. However, with this big grille, it's gloss black. And I think maybe that's why it's throwing me off a little bit. If it was more of like a satin color, I think it would kind of show the body lines and the shape of the grille just a little bit more, to where the gloss black almost makes it look like a big empty space because it's so reflective. But that's a first impression. I'll have to see it in person, but typically I like the look of like a satin grille over a gloss grille. But the real winner for me is the side profile, but especially the back. I am absolutely in love with the back of this Mustang. I love how aggressive the trunk to the taillight angle is. It is so mean looking and aggressive. And the spoiler choices they have out of the box look so rad. It really adds to geometry of this car. Like, you have this really mean, fierce rear end, and I really like it. Like, it was one of those things where the S550 back in the day, people were like, I hate this car, before it grew on a lot of people. People hated the S550. You guys probably remember. This one seems to have a lot more winners when it comes to public opinion, which is a good sign for Ford. The built-in hood scoop, I'm sure it's functional, so it looks pretty dope. Well, hopefully it's functional, but we'll find out. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the gray spec with the blue Brembos, which is a really cool option because you can actually spec your caliper color now, which is pretty neat. The factory wheels, I really like them. This almost ninja star look to them. They're so mean. Like, this car is just mean. The e-brake, with the help of RTR and Von Gittin Jr., made it so the e-brake is literally set up for drifting out of the box. So if you wanted to just get an out of the box drift car and not have to install a hydro e-brake, which is like the #1 thing you do when you build a drift car, is like e-brake, seat, and a steering wheel, right? An angle kit. You could literally take the S650, put an angle kit on it, and you have a drift car. Like, that is so amazing. Drifting is the fastest growing motorsport, and Ford noticed. Like, that's amazing. And you can turn all the nannies off, unlike a lot of other cars right now that are gonna be in the same price range. Because people are like, oh, what if people hurt themselves if they turn the traction control all the way up? No, let them. It shows that Ford is in touch with the culture. I mean, one of my friends, Ben Hobson, who's a fantastic drifter, he bought a 2022 S550 with just the Funhaver angle kit on it, and it freaking mobs. I can't even get the words out how fast that is as a drift car. It's so cool that now they're truly adapting it to the scene. Also, during this entire presentation, my OCD was going crazy because it was this big, fat, empty space. I didn't know why it was there. I was like, why is that there? They have to have something. And thankfully, that empty space was for something very special. And now we talk about the thing I really wanted to talk about. It's not a Shelby, it's not a Mach 1, it's not an SVT, it's one of the first new nameplates on a Mustang in decades, and that is the Dark Horse. The Dark Horse literally fixes everything I don't like about the new front end. Like, it literally fixes the grille, it fixes the color of the grille that I mentioned earlier. I love the blue color that's on it, that's very pearlescent. If you go online and look around, you'll see that it's actually a color shift color. It's really beautiful. I just love the stance of this thing, the wing on the back, and it makes 500 crank horsepower, naturally aspirated, and it uses the connecting rods from the Shelby GT500. So really beefy internals, and I cannot wait to see what people do with that engine, because it's gonna be a beast. And it has a Tremec 6-speed manual transmission, so all the good stuff. So think of it as like everything they learned from the Mach 1, GT350, GT500 into a naturally aspirated package that looks so mean. I absolutely love it. Of course, there's gonna be faster S650 down the road, but we don't know what motor that's gonna be. We don't know what the setup's gonna be, but for now, the Dark Horse is rad. And the logo, you know, it looks like a Charizard, but shoot, I'll drive a Charizard. Sure, why not? But last but not least, they are making a ton of different race car variations of the S650, and Ford is going back to Le Mans. They're going back to France to race at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Honestly, I think that's a great note to end on, because this is just the tip of the iceberg of what this platform is gonna show. Is this a refresh S550? Yes, but I think it refreshes it in a really good way. I think it refreshes it in a way to where it doesn't just feel like more of the same. It has a brand new interior. It has a brand new wheel and tire setup and Brembo brakes, and the back of it looks different enough. I'm happy with it. Overall, I am happy with the new car. I really thought that front end was gonna be a 100%, you know, no for me, but I'm probably 80% on the front, 100% on the back, and 100% on the side profile, and 100% on the Dark Horse. there's my opinion. That's what I think of it. And on that note, guys, what do you think about the S650? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. And on that note, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, usually, but this has been a crazy week, so forgive me. And I will see you guys next time, and take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.